Hey everybody, welcome to Donut Ride number 5. And this is the left turn that I missed last week. I feel kind of stupid now. So I did ride here last week, or a week ago. This bridge here is, I think, would probably count as the 4th bridge. I counted 3 bridges last time. Well, one thing is for sure, the total cost was around $10 million. I don't feel much better about that, whether it's 4 bridges or 3 bridges. Off to my right is an Ohio health facility. I think they're just administrative offices, although I believe there's a lab in there. It's a Quest lab. I didn't have a great experience trying to go in there a couple months ago. Hopefully they've got things straightened away. You've ever wondered what the back of a Kohl's building looks like? This is the Kohl's facility off Olentangy, and that's the 3rd bridge, and upcoming is the 4th bridge. All right, so on Google Maps, they call that thing right in front of us the mound, which made me think, oh, it must be a Indian burial mound, and it might be. Except my extensive search of Google, I couldn't find anything on it. It does seem kind of odd. So I'm going to walk it, get a feel for it. So to be honest with you, I just really don't know. I mean, what I've read, there used to be a lot of Indian burial mounds in Franklin County. When the area was first settled, the farmers knocked them down to plant crops. Most of them, what I've read, or the bigger ones, were 10 foot high. This seems to be higher than 10 foot. I couldn't find it on the internet. And as I think of it, it's just as likely that it might be dirt from construction off in that direction, away from the river. There's somebody out there who probably knows the answer. I just don't know it. It'd be a good place for an Indian burial mound. And it is weird that they call the park the mound, but it is maybe just a big mound of dirt. I don't know. So I was able to do some research after this ride. The key was to search under the park name. That park is actually called Clintonville Park. There are several theories about why those mounds are there or why that mound is there. Most people, I would say all people that I saw opine, did not think that it was a Native American burial mound. There were several different reasons as to why that mound was there, though. Some of the more interesting ones was that it was leftover construction from the nearby apartments. There was also an amusement park in the area. Somebody thought that maybe that was leftover debris from the amusement park that they filled in. So who really knows? Just not Native American burial mounds. Still kind of a neat feature. I'm climbing up now away from the Olentangy River and High Street. The grade is probably, 5 to 7%. It's kind of a tough one. This climb is worth it though, and you'll see why here in just a second. Here I'm cutting through a residential neighborhood to get up to Indianola Avenue. I really like the character of these houses. It seems to me this would be a great place to live. There's some thought or debate as to whether this is urban or suburban. And here's a mistake I made. I'm actually on Indianola, which is a 4-lane road, and I'm in the wrong 2 lanes, riding into traffic. Sometimes you don't make the right move. I considered getting over onto the sidewalk, but you'll see why I didn't do that here. Yeah, they've got telephone poles, utility poles, right in the middle of the sidewalk, so that didn't work. So this is Walla Halla Road. It's on Walla Halla Ravine. It's funny how that works out. I first rode this during the tour of the Columbus. That was back in the fall, I believe. That was sponsored by Yay Bikes. I always intended to go back. I can't believe it's taken me this long to go back. As you can see, the scenery is stunning. That's a little stream off to the right. The architecture is very varied. There's a lot of Frank Lloyd Wright looking stuff, and then there's some modern homes as well. The road is one way, or it begins one way. I initially planned to ride this from the other direction, but I couldn't do that when I noticed the road was one way. Off to the right, coming up, there'll be a home for sale. It's listed for $1.25 million. I'll put a little blurb about that up in the top right, although I don't think that guy needs my help selling any houses. I'd imagine it's probably pretty rare for a house to come available in this area. This bridge coming up is Calumet Road. It goes over the Walla Halla Ravine. There's a lot of urban legends, urban myths related to Calumet and a house that sat on the top of it, and something about a head rolling down Walla Halla Road. You can use the internet to look that up if you'd like. I don't remember the specific story, but it's kind of an entertaining one that's probably not true. So the house coming up on the left I find very visually appealing. You can see the garage sits up on Weber Road. You can also see the concrete fencing that also is off Weber Road. But like all good things, this is going to come to an end. There's a little bit of climb here out onto High Street, which is a very busy north-south corridor, and then I'll climb another hill back up to Calumet. So this is Lakeview. I'll use this, I'll climb back up to Calumet. I'll take Calumet over to North Broadway. This is also a tough climb. I find a lot of times when I'm cycling, I have one particular song that goes through my head, and it's Spinning Wheel, and the lyrics are "What goes up must come down." I try to remind myself of that. A lot of times, and this probably shows my age, I think of an old Cake song called "The Distance." And recently I've been thinking about a newer group called Decca, and the song is Big Time, and it's the lyrics go, "Look at me, I'm doing things," and that kind of goes through my head. Is there any song that's stuck in your head that goes through your head when you're cycling? I'm kind of curious. If there is, let me know. Put it in the comments. So not a lot to say as far as commentary goes for this section. I've got to tell you, I might send the unedited version of my heavy breathing to my cardiologist so he can do some kind of analysis on this section of the climb. I think I'm about to die. So here I'm on Oakland Park. Oakland Park is 1 block north of North Broadway. North Broadway and Oakland Park are similar in a couple ways. They both have larger lots and kind of grand homes. The street is also pretty wide, or wider than the normal street in Clintonville. But what I like about Oakland Park as opposed to North Broadway, Oakland Park doesn't go through. Oakland Park is going to dead end into High Street, where North Broadway, there's a light at North Broadway and High Street, and it's going to go over the Olentangy River and continue west beyond that. As a result, Oakland Park, it's not very trafficy, not a lot of people here. Now, one thing that was concerning as you got down towards the end of Oakland Park, there's a lot more cars. You can see here parked on the street. Somebody's going to pull out here in a second, which makes me a little bit nervous. Somebody's going to open a car door, also makes me nervous. You're kind of exposed on a bike, right? One little mistake and I'm eating gravel or asphalt, whatever. Coming up on the left, that's a Mennonite church. That kind of surprised me, maybe just out of ignorance, but I did not expect a Mennonite church to be located within the city limits. I always thought that was kind of a country thing. Apparently I had that wrong. Here we're getting ready to turn on to North High Street. Ahead is Katrina 2. That's a great place for breakfast. If you go there, get the pancake balls, you can thank me later. But I'm looking for Destination Donuts. Destination Donuts, I didn't know it, but it's going to be over to my left. You see the green awnings? Destination Donuts has the black awning in that sea of green awnings. Here we are. I'm pulling up out front. Look at me. I'm doing things. So the interior of the store is quaint. I mean, it's super cute, but it's just very small. There are a couple seating areas, though, which I like. I've been to some places where there's no place to sit. I believe they're all about donuts, which explains the name, Destination Donuts. I asked these gals if it was okay if I filmed. They were okay with it, just so you know. And here's the donut counter. Too many choices to make. Too many choices to make. So that's their version of a glazed donut. It was a little bit messy, but it was delicious. Next up was this donut. I think they call this the Cocoa Crisp. And I've got to tell you, this thing was delicious. Maybe the best donut I've ever had. It had to be like 7,000 calories. It was great. So I believe they had coffee here and water. No chance on a Diet Coke or even an iced tea. But still, this was one of my favorite places to visit. It's a nice combination of everything. A place to sit, great donuts, good staff. Loved it. Wait for that rating.